Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, written by Stephen Covey, has sold over 25 million copies. There's even been a 25th edition of the book. Stephen Covey did a study of many successful people throughout the world to understand why and how they were effective in the field that they belong to. And the result was the seven habits of highly effective people. Today, I shall continue with part two of habit two, begin with the end in mind. Stephen Covey goes on to share alternate centers in the second habit known as begin with the end in mind. These centers refer to spouse centeredness, money centeredness, work centeredness, possession centeredness, pleasure centeredness, friend or enemy centeredness, worship or church centeredness, self centeredness, and so on. We need to identify the center that is dominant and where do we stand along it. And for each of these centers, we have to look at authority, guidance, wisdom, and power. What is the purpose of knowing all these centers? It's after knowing all these centers that we have to look at our principal center. Our principles are what determine which center we will focus on in the four areas of authority, guidance, wisdom, and power. A typical example of a situation would be, what would you do if you had to stay late one day and then the same day, on that same day, you had promised to go to a concert with your wife? This is where you have to choose between the two. And this is where you make a decision that is conscious and knowledgeable. You're not going to let other circumstances or the environment let you make the decision. What are the choices you'll have? Whether you go to the concert or stay at work late is a small part of an effective decision. First, you're not being acted upon by other people or circumstances. Secondly, you know your decision is most effective because it is based on principles with predictable or long-term results. Thirdly, what you choose to do contributes to your ultimate values in life. Staying at work to get the aid from someone at the office is an entirely different evening in your life from staying because you value your boss effectiveness and you genuinely want to contribute to the company's welfare. The experiences you carry out to decisions, the experience you have as you carry out the decisions, they call quality and meaning in the content of your life as a whole. Fourthly, you can communicate to your wife and your boss within the same strong network equated in your interdependence relationship. Because you're independent, you can be effectively independent. You might decide to delegate what is delegable, what can be delegated to someone else, and come in early in the morning to do the rest. Finally, you feel comfortable about your decision. Whatever you choose to do, you can focus on it and decide. As a principle centered person, you see things differently, and because you see things differently, and because you see things differently, you think differently, you act differently. Because you are because you have a high degree of security, guidance, wisdom, and power that flows from a solid, unchanging core, you have the foundation of a highly productive and highly effective life. And this is where writing a personal mission statement becomes very important. A personal mission statement is not something you write overnight. It takes a deep introspection, careful analysis, thoughtful expression, and often many rewrites to produce it in the final form. It takes a while before you really feel comfortable with it, before you feel it is complete and concise expression of the innermost values and directions. Even then, you'll want to review it regularly and make minor changes as the years bring additional insight or changing circumstances. Writing or reviewing a mission statement changes you because it forces you to think through your priorities deeply, carefully, and to align your behavior with your beliefs. As you do, other people begin to sense that you're not being driven by everything that happens to you. You have a sense of vision about what you're trying to do, and you're excited about. Then Stephen Covey requests us to use our whole brain and how we can tap the right brain. Number one, expand perspective. These three will help you do that. Next is asking us to look at family mission statements, organizational mission statements, and then work it out. So you have family mission statements, and then comes to the application. Then it comes to the application.